Hello again, welcome to my YouTube channel, Live by Design with Grace Kariuki. I am very glad to be here today, and I continue to talk about self-awareness and emotional intelligence in particular. Now, in the last segment, we talked a lot about you being aware of yourself. I want to talk about something else, which is what we call motivation. Motivation is very important in our ability to reach the kind of space in our lives that we want to be. We have to have something that drives us to that space. And most of us, when we were growing up, our motivations were outside of ourselves. We didn't have a lot of internal motivation, except that which was put upon us. Now, along the way, by the time we are in high school and getting into our young adulthood, we begin to have personal motivation to do certain things. And so that internal motivation is very important, because we are not just looking for external success. We are not looking that I'm doing this so that I make more money, that I have more fame. There are people who still live in that space, but that space is not enriching. What you want to do is to have something that is deeper within you, something that we call passion, something that we call purpose, something that we call an internal drive to do something, an internal drive to reach a certain goal. That's what you want to work for. And there are a few of us, or many of us, who have actually found out what we call our niche. There is that thing that you do, whether you are paid or you are not paid, you will do it gladly, and you feel a lot of fulfillment in you. And so that optimism that comes from within you is what we are calling internal motivation. That thing that makes you wake up in the morning, that makes you you don't have to be supervised to do it. You are just driven by the joy of being in the activity. And so you want to make sure that you are working towards identifying what your passion is and what your purpose is. And there are people who have more than one passions. And so if you do that, then you will find that you will do what you do without being without hesitation, without procrastination, without feeling like you're just floating through life, because there is an intention that comes from within you. So that is the other thing that you want to create as you are so that now, as you are creating this life that you want to have, even the relationships that you have, they will become intentional. You are not just around people for being around them. They are adding value to you. You are adding value to them. There are things that we do for people that are motivated by the empathy we feel for them, not because they deserve those things, but because we feel empathy for them. And so what is empathy? Empathy is the ability to understand the emotional makeup of other people. So I'm not just always thinking about me, but I'm also thinking, when I am escalating in my anger, how is the other person experiencing me? What are they experiencing from me? Because my emotions make sense to me. I am aware of them, but am I aware of how they are being experienced by somebody else? That is what empathy is. In other words, we are saying that we do need to develop the ability to feel how other people feel, to be able to tell ourselves, when I do this, when I do that, when I feel this way, when I act this way, there is a way that the other person in my life at that point, they are experiencing me. And it is important, because it is going to help us to develop sensitivity to others. It is going to help us to feel compassion for others. It is going to help us to be flexible with others, to accept others unconditionally, to understand them and to seek to understand them, and we will respect other people. But when we are just egotistical, we are just thinking about ourselves, what makes us happy, then we are actually treading towards the side of being a narcissist, a person who doesn't care about how other people feel. And so it's important for us to be able to develop empathy as we are thinking about emotional intelligence in relation to the social awareness of the people around us. Because when we have empathy, we will find that other people enjoy being in our circle. People, there is a saying that says people do not care how much you know, but they really care how much you care. Or they want to know how much you care. And people don't remember what you said and what you did. They do remember how you made them feel. So it's very important. So how do we then develop these interpersonal relationships that are enriching and valuable? We need to learn how to socially interact with people. We need to learn social skills of listening, social skills of helping and serving others. We need to be able to learn how to build good, healthy networks with other people. We need to be able to understand that it is not all about us. There is a bigger picture. There is a bigger reason. There is a bigger program here. It's not all about us. We need to be able to have the ability to reach out to others and to interact with them. I want to say here that there are people who also need a balance. They care too much about people that they forget themselves. And you cannot give people what you do not have. So you have to also to start with yourself. Start with self-respect. Start with being empathetic with yourself, being compassionate to yourself, so that you can be able to give others truly and fully from the well that you already have developed within you. A lot of times what we are finding is that people give and give and give, and they are not replenishing, and they are compensating so that they, because of the fear of being alone, the fear of not having meaningful relationships. So you end up allowing people to walk all over you and not having the social skills of talking, assertiveness, being able to tell people, this is my boundary, I don't like when you do this, or I feel this way when you do that. Allowing people to really get to know who you are, what makes you happy and what doesn't. That's a skill that we need to develop. At some time later on, we will talk about boundaries, when to say yes and when to say no, so that we can experience meaningful and thriving relationships, not only with ourselves but also with others. So for today, we are going to end there. Again, I encourage you to give us some feedback. Is this helpful to you? Is there anything you would like for us to help you with as you are seeking to thrive in your life and to design the kind of life that you want? Until next time, may the Lord bless you. See you then.